I'm Asit Patel.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Thank you for coming by today. We look forward to finding out more about you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Tell us, how did you decide to get involved in running for the school board?
You know, I have two young kids, and when the opportunity came along to have our own school district, and when we were working on the referendum, I got involved with the citizens of Collierville to promote the Yes for Schools campaign. And the main reason is because I care about the education for my kids and also the school system we have here in Collierville. I'm also passionate about education, and I want to inspire the next generation.
What did your friends and family say when you told them that you wanted to run?
You know, they were very excited to see that that I'm taking interest in working towards helping the Collierville schools to become what they can become as far as great schools.
Is there anything in particular about education that makes it important to you?
Education opens doors. A lot of the jobs tomorrow are not even created yet. What we need, the education that our students need for tomorrow is going to be different than what we need today as far as the jobs that are out there. So my focus is that we want to continue to improve, and we want to work hard to make sure that the education and the curriculum and the academic performance that we look for in students and the education we provide in schools meets up to those standards. We want to challenge our kids. Kids have a lot of potential, and we want to make sure that we give them all the opportunities that they desire and give them all the tools to succeed.
That's great. Are your kids in the school system right now?
I have two boys, 3rd and 4th grader, both in Sycamore Elementary.
Tell us a little bit about your history with Collierville. How long have you lived here?
I've been here for 10 years. And when I moved to Memphis area for international paper, and when we moved here, Collierville, we were exploring, looking for where should we live, and Collierville looked like the best place that we wanted to live and start a family. Both of our boys are born here after we moved to Memphis, and they have gone to schools over here. Through pre-K, kindergarten. We like the schools here. We want to make sure that we give them all the opportunities.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about your work background.
Sure. I have an undergraduate in electrical engineering, so my first work experience was really working on space projects. I was working for Motorola on communication hardware for International Space Station. So I started working out as more of an electrical engineer than what I do today. But when you work on big projects, it is all about what's important is project management. It's interesting, but the reason we beat Russians to the moon is because of the good project management, and we executed on what we wanted to execute on, and we worked hard at it. And some of the lessons I learned as far as how do we get things done? How do we get things done under cost? How do we get more for what we pay for? Some of those things that I've learned through my work experiences, working for Motorola, then IBM. I worked for International Paper for now 10 years. And right now I'm in more of a supply chain group. I'm a systems and training manager. And as far as supply chain is concerned, every day, because we are selling a commodity product, every day our goal is to get more for less. And it is going to be important that we use our taxpayer dollars wisely. We don't have unlimited resources, but we want unlimited outcome, right? Everybody wants to see best in what we have. And a lot of times the easy answer is, oh, you will have to pay more for that. But the hard work is going to go into figuring out how do we do more with what we have. And that's what my challenge is going to be.
So business-wise, you've been in a lot of situations where there's got to be some serious discussion, perhaps some conflict, and you've exercised leadership in different ways. Different people have different styles of leadership, and some people they bring people together. Others are sort of visionaries, and they say we're going here, but they don't really know how to get there. But they say we're going there. How would your coworkers describe your style of leadership?
Well, I like to take people along on a journey. What I mean by that is I like to sell my vision. I also want to work with them because solutions are not created by one person. You have to have a vision that everybody subscribes to. And the key here is going to be that our town, I mean every member that in our town who has kids in our school system, they want best for their kids. Everybody wants best for our kids. And everybody has a vision for what that success looks like. And it is going to be important to find that common thread and take everybody along and say, okay, so let's work together. And everybody has a part to play. There's going to be a lot of hard work that's going to be required to get the school started up and running and make sure that we have provided a good foundation. And it will require that we have more participants. And what I mean by that is, like, with a vision, and you want to continue to listen to the community. You want to make them part of the effort that we are doing here. And from a leadership standpoint, what I like to do generally is that I like to take people along. Because more people buy into your vision, more people that help you, the higher your chances of success.
Had any past experience with educational systems?
Nothing directly from a school system standpoint, but in my role currently, I do get involved in training aspects of it. So when we bring new people on board, we do have to train them. We do have to train them so that we implement the processes the way we want to process them. Now, we are a for-profit company, so things sometimes may be a little different because we have a structured approach and we only focus on some areas. On education front, we want to provide kids with the tools so they can find their, they can take their dreams and turn them into reality, right? So we want to equip them with the base knowledge. Sometimes some of that base knowledge they may not be interested in, but you have to have it. You have to have a foundation to succeed. I know a lot of times, even in the common media, and people think the math and science is hard, and that's not something I want to do. But I think that's something we need to address as a nation. It is an important part of education. It sometimes feels hard, but I sometimes feel that you will never use it when you're learning the basics. But it's something that once you know how to use it, and once you figure out how you can apply it, it actually makes you better. It actually helps you find shortcuts in getting to a solution.
So you talk a lot about education really making a difference in people's lives. Go a little deeper. Tell us a little bit more about how you've seen that make a difference in people's lives or in your own life.
Well, education, in my mind, opens doors. I mean, a lot of times, if you think about a lot of immigrants coming to the U.S., a lot of the people who are educated, they find it easy to. I mean, you're always talking about a change in culture. So there is a culture shock. Anybody coming to the U.S. first time, because you're not only trying to understand the new culture and how you behave in it. You may not even know certain times when somebody uses a slang or something like that. You may not know what that means because you have not been part of that popular culture in the new culture that you now belong to. And it is important that education. I mean, let's say when I came here, I always wanted to be an engineer. So that gave me a path. 12th grade here. I mean, it was very difficult. I didn't know any ropes as far as, okay, so how does the system work here? All I knew is that in India, For example, a 12th grade was the hardest grade that you can ever get into, because that's where they test you and say, if you are in the top certain percent, then you get to go to engineering school, or if you're in the top certain percent, you get to go into being a doctor or something like that, because everything was based on merit. And since the supply of colleges, or the capacity of colleges, was limited, they will force rank you into that system. So 12th became the deciding factor in India. Here, 12th grade was a lot different. It was not prescribed saying, okay, you have to take calculus, you have to do this thing. It was like, what do you want to take? where do you want to take yourself? And it was quite interesting because, I already had taken calculus, but what I learned here, which I feel was very important, is that I had learned the mechanics, but I had not learned where I can use it. So the school system here taught me, okay, so yes, I can use this advanced calculus, but I can figure, what it tells me when I solve that problem is that it may be an area under a curve or something like that. So I learned the practical side here, and which I feel is very important as far as teaching our kids, because I think one of the things that we excel at as a nation from an education standpoint is creativity, which is very important in innovation. And what we want to add is the rigor to make sure that we give them the basic math and science foundation, and people don't opt out of that early enough.
So the educational systems that you've had experience with was in India, was in the United States. You said you got an engineering degree?
I got an engineering degree from Iowa State University. And my 12th grade I did it in Marshalltown High School in Iowa. And an MBA I did it about 10 years, I started that about 8 years after I had graduated from my bachelor's at Vanderbilt University, after I had already moved here. So I was going back and forth every other weekend for almost 2 years.
Well, that's great. What are some of the big decisions in your mind that the school board's going to face, that they're going to need to make decisions about?
One of the key decisions is going to be on capacity, in my mind, in the near future. Collierville is growing. It is a place in this region, specifically if you're living in Memphis area. It is a place where a lot of people want to live, and it is going to be important that we find out how we're going to fund some of those things. Other key decision in my mind is academics. How do we raise the bar? I don't want to just compete with Shelby County schools or Memphis schools. I want to compete as far as the world is concerned, and I don't want to be defined as 25th in the world in math and science. If we are to lead, as a community or a nation, we have to be a leader in every field that we play in. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a commitment from the community.
I think it probably will take a lot of time. Tell us, how much time do you think it will take to be a school board member? This is a big thing.
I think the first year, maybe, I feel like first year it may be almost a full-time job. Because starting something from scratch is not easy. It takes a lot of, there'll be a lot of little things we'll have to plan for. And as we start digging into it, you will find more things. But in my job today and in my experience in the past, I have learned to work with those type of situations where you take on a challenge, you identify what you need to get done, you stay true to your vision, and every time you run into a problem, you come up with a plan to attack it.
So you've got the extra time, you think, to be able to put in on this?
I have committed myself to that extra time. I have 2 boys and a full-time job. I committed myself to saying over the summer that I want to make sure that we have our schools, and that's why I promoted the Yes for Schools campaign. And I have committed time to make sure that we get off to a good start.
Tell me about the Yes for Our School campaign.
It gave me a great opportunity.
And your role in it.
I was mainly helping from a promotion standpoint, getting out there in front of people and getting the word out there, making sure people understood the issues and understood why we wanted our own schools. I was at the main street, at the town square, the Main Street Thursday Festival I want to say every Thursday for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. I was there on the 4th of July, handing out the Yes for Schools stickers and talking to people, making sure they understood. And all that effort paid off, and we had a very good turnout and very good yes percentage. Mm-hmm. And I want to take that momentum forward. There's a lot of energy in this town right now to make sure our schools are good, and I want to work with the community to make that dream a reality. We need to inspire the next greatest generation.
It's going to be a big decision, a tough decision about picking a school superintendent. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming there's going to be 3 or 4 finalists, and they're all going to be experienced. They're all going to be qualified. Anything in your mind right now that would be attractive to you in a school superintendent?
The things that help us improve is change. I would look for a change agent in a school superintendent. I would also look for a visionary. I would want a school superintendent who can envision what the tomorrow looks like and have the execution skills to make that happen. School superintendent, hiring a right school superintendent would be one of the key responsibilities of the board. Mm-hmm. One of the first responsibilities of the board, and we need to get the right person on the bus.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Tell me, on the board, everybody brings a certain strength to them, mm-hmm. With themselves to the board. What would be your strength, do you think?
Vision and execution abilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you for being willing to take on this role of a public servant.
It is a new role for me, but it is a challenge I am determined to take. So I want to make sure we have good schools.
That's great. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.